These four grandpas might be the toughest grandpas in history. The Hatton Garden heist of April 2015 remains one of the most daring and audacious crimes in British history, orchestrated by a group of elderly criminals who defied age barriers to execute the perfect robbery. Despite their advanced years, these seasoned thieves meticulously planned and flawlessly executed their operation, targeting the impenetrable vault of the Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Company, located in the heart of London's renowned Diamond District. The heist yielded a staggering loot, with hundreds of safe deposit boxes plundered of their contents, including precious jewelry, gold, and substantial amounts of cash, collectively valued at around £14 million. This windfall served as both their pension plan and their final hurrah in the world of crime. What makes this heist particularly remarkable is the age of the perpetrators, with the youngest member of the group being in his 60s at the time. Despite their advanced age, they displayed remarkable agility, cunning, and expertise in carrying out the meticulously planned operation. However, their flawless execution was marred by a small mistake that ultimately led to their downfall and subsequent arrest. Despite their best efforts to cover their tracks, law enforcement authorities managed to unravel the details of their operation, culminating in the apprehension of the perpetrators. In this video, we will delve into the thrilling details of the Hatton Garden heist, exploring the intricate planning, daring execution, and eventual unraveling of one of the most sensational crimes in British criminal history. Join us as we uncover the mystery behind this extraordinary robbery that captivated the world's attention. For centuries, London's Hatton Garden has reigned as the epicenter of the city's diamond trade, boasting a plethora of jewelry shops and dealers. Among these establishments, the Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Company stood as a bastion of security, offering individuals and businesses the assurance of safeguarding their most valuable possessions. Established in the 1940s, this facility boasted a reputation for impenetrability, fortified by an array of cutting-edge security measures. From surveillance cameras to sophisticated access controls, every aspect of the Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Company was designed to deter would-be thieves and protect the wealth stored within its confines. However, in April 2015, this perception of invincibility was shattered when a gang of 6 elderly thieves orchestrated one of the most audacious heists in British history. Led by Brian Reader, a seasoned criminal with a history of high-profile robberies, including a previous accusation of murdering an undercover police officer, this group embarked on a daring mission to breach the supposedly impregnable vault. Despite their advanced age, these thieves demonstrated a remarkable level of skill and precision, meticulously planning every aspect of the heist. With Reader at the helm, the gang executed a meticulously coordinated operation, drilling into the vault wall and plundering the contents of hundreds of safety deposit boxes. Their actions sent shockwaves through London's Diamond District and captured the attention of the world. The audacity of the crime, coupled with the age of the perpetrators, made the Hatton Garden heist a tale that transcended the realms of ordinary criminality. In the aftermath of the robbery, as details of the heist emerged, the public was left in awe of the cunning and resourcefulness displayed by these elderly thieves. Their daring escapade served as a stark reminder that age is no barrier to criminal ingenuity, and even the most fortified institutions are not immune to the determination of those intent on breaking the law. Terry Perkins, at 67 years old, defied his age and health challenges to play a central role in the Hatton Garden heist. Despite battling diabetes and heart problems, he was fully engaged in every aspect of the operation, from planning to execution. Perkins' criminal pedigree included participation in the infamous 1983 Security Express robbery, cementing his reputation as a seasoned and daring criminal. John Collins, alias Kenny, brought decades of experience in robbery to the gang at the age of 64. With a criminal record dating back to 1961, Collins served as the group's driver and lookout during the heist. His role was crucial in ensuring smooth logistics and evading detection during the operation. Danny Jones, the youngest member of the gang at 60, boasted a lengthy rap sheet that included convictions for burglary, attempted robbery, and handling stolen goods dating back to 1975. Despite his age, Jones contributed his expertise in criminal activities to the success of the heist. Carl Wood, another member of the gang, added his own history of theft and robbery to the mix. With a background in criminal activities, Wood played a pivotal role in executing the meticulous plan devised by the group. The final member of the gang, known only as Vazel, earned the moniker the Ghost due to the detective's inability to gather any substantial information about him. Operating under a veil of anonymity, Vazel's identity remained a mystery, adding an aura of intrigue to the already daring heist orchestrated by the group. Together, these seasoned criminals defied their age and health ailments to execute one of the most audacious robberies in British history. Their diverse backgrounds and expertise in criminal activities contributed to the success of the Hatton Garden heist, leaving a lasting legacy in the annals of crime. Despite their advanced age, the gang members displayed a remarkable level of cunning and adaptability throughout the planning and execution of the heist. One member, in particular, went to great lengths to disguise himself, using a wig to conceal his identity during the operation. Additionally, he played a crucial role in disabling the alarm system, leveraging his expertise in electronics to ensure the success of the robbery. This demonstrates their resourcefulness and willingness to employ innovative methods to overcome security measures. While only a core group of 6 individuals directly participated in the robbery, others provided support and assistance to the gang after the heist, underscoring the collaborative nature of their criminal network. Despite their varying levels of involvement, all members shared a common trait: a history of involvement in theft and robbery. Their extensive criminal records suggest a wealth of experience in navigating the intricacies of illicit activities, further emphasizing their proficiency in this realm. Despite societal perceptions of elderly individuals as frail and outdated, these seasoned criminals defied expectations by meticulously planning and executing one of the most audacious heists in British history. Led by Brian Reeder, the gang devoted 3 years to strategizing and organizing the operation, highlighting their commitment to achieving their goal. They meticulously assigned roles and responsibilities, with each member contributing their unique skills and expertise to the endeavor. Moreover, their proactive approach to acquiring knowledge, such as watching instructional videos on drilling techniques, showcases their dedication to ensuring the success of their plan. In addition, they consulted Forensics for Dummies to ensure they left no incriminating evidence behind. This simplified guide covers various aspects of forensic science, including crime scene investigation, evidence analysis, DNA testing, and digital forensics, making it accessible to a general audience. Interestingly, authorities found this book in Danny Jones's residence following his arrest, indicating the gang's efforts to cover their tracks thoroughly. Having completed all necessary preparations, the gang was poised to execute their plan, with only the selection of the heist date remaining. Opting for the Easter weekend, they likely chose this time frame for strategic reasons. This holiday period provided an extended window of opportunity, affording the criminals ample time to carry out their operation discreetly. Moreover, the Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Company's location in the heart of London's jewelry district factored into their decision. Given that many businesses in the area would be closed over the Easter weekend, the gang anticipated minimal activity and fewer potential witnesses, reducing the risk of detection or interruption. On the eve of the Easter weekend, April 2, 2015, at 8:20 p.m., the gang assembled near the target location. Traveling in a white van driven by John Collins, except for leader Brian Reeder, who utilized a free pensioners bus pass, they parked nearby. 2 members, Danny Jones and Carl Wood, disguised as maintenance workers in reflective jackets, surveyed the building before departing. At 9:20 p.m., Basil arrived, concealing his identity with a black bin bag to evade surveillance cameras. Using a key he obtained, Basil gained access to the building through the main entrance. He swiftly navigated to the fire escape door and unlocked it from within. Shortly thereafter, the gang unloaded their tools from the van using wheelie bins, intending to use them for transporting the stolen goods. Subsequently, Collins, serving as the driver, left to park the van nearby and assumed his role as the lookout from an apartment in a building opposite the Hatton Garden Safe Deposit. His vantage point was meticulously selected, affording him a clear view of both the front and side entrances, enabling him to alert his accomplices using a walkie-talkie if necessary. As previously mentioned, the gang, relying on their traditional methods, entered the building through the fire escape door, carrying their tools. They traversed the basement courtyard, forcibly gaining entry through another door, and positioned themselves near an airlock-controlled door leading to the vault area. Two members ascended to the second floor to access the elevator, disabling it before returning to the ground level. They then pried open the outer door of the elevator shaft and descended to the basement. Upon arrival, they encountered a metal shutter, which they partially opened to crawl underneath, proceeding to the area housing the vault. Beneath the staircase lay a small room housing controls for airlock doors, surveillance cameras, and the alarm system. Basil, the electronics expert, promptly disabled these systems and cut the power to the airlock door, allowing the remaining gang members entry with their equipment. With the entire gang now in the basement, the only obstacle between them and the vault was an iron bar door. Utilizing an angle grinder, they began cutting through the door. However, an unexpected event occurred during this process. Despite Basil's efforts to disable the alarm system, a signal was sent to the building's security company, prompting them to dispatch a guard to investigate. The guard, upon inspection, found no signs of suspicious activity at either the front or side entrances, thus reporting no cause for concern to the police. Ironically, during this incident, the lookout man, John Collins, was sound asleep, unaware of the unfolding events. Fortunately for the gang, there were no external disturbances, allowing them to proceed without further interference. After cutting the iron bars of the door, the gang was in front of the Hatton Garden vault door. Their plan was to break through the wall of the vault, which was a half-meter thick concrete wall. They were half a meter from the untold wealth. Breaking through such fortified walls is nearly impossible without specialized heavy-duty equipment. Hence, the gang brought along a massive drill for this purpose. Typically, access to such equipment is restricted, but they had learned how to operate it effectively by watching YouTube tutorials during the preparation phase. As they began drilling into the wall adjacent to the vault door, the gang experienced a mix of emotions. On one hand, they reminisced about past burglaries, feeling a sense of nostalgia. On the other hand, there was an underlying fear of potential arrest and the grim prospect of spending the rest of their lives behind bars. For these seasoned criminals, the motivation went beyond mere financial gain. Success in this heist would etch their names into the annals of British history, immortalizing them as legendary figures revered by future generations. Despite their age, they were on the brink of executing the most significant heist in Britain's history. After hours of relentless drilling, they finally breached the wall, creating 3 overlapping circular holes intended to provide access to the vault. However, upon peering through the openings, they were met with an unexpected setback. The holes had been drilled into the back of a safety deposit box cabinet, firmly secured to the ceiling and floor, rendering it immovable. This revelation left the gang frustrated and disheartened. Despite meticulous planning and preparation, overlooking this critical detail had led to a significant setback. Faced with this unexpected hurdle, the gang found themselves at a crossroads, forced to make a crucial decision in the heat of the moment. Brian Reeder, the gang's leader, opted to withdraw and reassess the situation after their initial plan failed. As they exited through the fire escape side door, their white van, driven by Collins, awaited them outside. Reeder, recognizing the potential risks and stress involved, decided it was best to abandon the operation. He firmly believed that deviating from the plan would only invite mistakes, particularly considering his advanced age and inability to handle the pressure. Despite attempts by the other members to persuade him otherwise, Reeder remained resolute in his decision to pull out. Unable to sway him, the remaining gang members proceeded without their leader. With time to reflect, they realized they needed a hydraulic pump to dislodge the safety deposit box cabinet. On Saturday afternoon, Collins and Jones ventured to an equipment superstore in a distinctive white Mercedes to procure the necessary tool. After Jones made the purchase, they conducted a reconnaissance around the Hatton Garden building to ensure no complications had arisen. Later that night, Basil facilitated their re-entry into the building through the fire escape side door. However, upon encountering a light in the basement, Wood grew anxious and decided to withdraw, fearing it could be a trap set by the police. Despite efforts to reassure him, Wood remained steadfast in his decision to leave. With only 4 members remaining, Jones, Basil, and Perkins continued inside the building, while Collins maintained his post as the lookout. After Carl Wood's departure, the remaining members continued with their plan, equipped with a new tool, a hydraulic pump capable of exerting 10 tons of pressure. With a resounding crack, they toppled the safe deposit cabinet, granting access to millions of pounds worth of cash, gold, and jewelry. Danny Jones and Basil then entered the vault through the drilled holes, proceeding to break into the safety deposit boxes. Perkins, stationed outside the vault, received the contents of the boxes through the opening, sorting through the valuables, which included cash, jewelry, gold, diamonds, and other precious items. Lesser valuables, such as documents, were discarded. Out of the 999 safety deposit boxes present, the gang managed to breach only 37, likely limited by the capacity of the wheelie bins they used for transport. Despite the limited number of boxes accessed, the stolen loot was substantial, marking it as one of the largest heists in history. After loading the wheelie bins with treasure, the gang exited through the building's side door, where Collins awaited with his white van. They loaded the van with the bins and swiftly departed the area. On Tuesday, April 7, 2015, the first workday after the Easter weekend, the Hatton Garden area resumed normal operations, unaware of the robbery. However, the discovery of the robbery sent shockwaves through the community. Upon police investigation, the vault was found in disarray, littered with debris, broken deposit boxes, and power tools. The local businesses and jewelry traders were devastated by the loss of their valuable possessions stored in the Hatton Garden safe deposit. They were incredulous that such a supposedly secure facility could be breached without police intervention, especially considering the presence of an alarm system. The breach at the Hatton Garden safety deposit left its clientele feeling exposed and prompted apologies from the police, who acknowledged lapses in security protocol. Despite receiving an alert from the alarm system, the security company failed to act appropriately by not contacting the police, a misstep that allowed the robbery to occur unchecked. Upon commencing their investigation, detectives meticulously scored the crime scene for potential leads, hoping to uncover fingerprints or DNA samples. Despite their thorough examination, the gang had left behind no forensic evidence, having taken measures such as using bleach to erase fingerprints and removing surveillance hard drives to avoid being captured on camera. The absence of forensic clues presented a significant challenge for investigators, who now understood they were dealing with a highly skilled and forensically aware gang. This realization heightened the difficulty of apprehending the perpetrators successfully. The timing of the heist further complicated matters for law enforcement, placing them in a race against time to arrest the gang members and recover the stolen items before they could be disposed of. The pressure on the police was immense, with every moment crucial to their efforts. However, despite the gang's meticulous planning, they overlooked a crucial detail: London's extensive surveillance camera network. This oversight provided a breakthrough for the police, as the surveillance footage captured images of the culprits on the night of the heist, marking an initial victory for law enforcement in their pursuit of justice. Examining surveillance footage, detectives observed key aspects of the gang's actions, such as their white van, the disguised maintenance workers, and Basil carrying a concealed bin. This visual evidence allowed law enforcement to construct a timeline of events during the break-in. The focus then turned to the white van, with investigators seeking to identify its owner through the license plate. However, their efforts hit a snag when they discovered that the van's registered name was fictitious, implying it had been procured specifically for the heist and later disposed of, leading to a dead end in the inquiry. Further scrutiny of the footage unveiled a pivotal revelation: the gang's unsuccessful attempt on Friday morning, followed by their triumphant second endeavor on Saturday night, when they emerged with wheelie bins brimming with stolen goods. This dual-stage approach indicated a carefully planned operation. During the footage review, detectives spotted a critical error by John Collins, who was seen driving his white Mercedes around the Hatton Garden vicinity about an hour before the second break-in. Collins' suspicious behavior, repeatedly circling the area, became a focal point in the investigation, highlighting a significant flaw in the gang's execution strategy. To identify the owner of the Mercedes, authorities leveraged surveillance cameras and automatic number plate recognition technology, which cross-referenced vehicle registrations with databases of wanted individuals. Following the vehicle's trail, law enforcement traced it to a residential location where it was parked, providing a crucial breakthrough in the case. Now, the task at hand for the police was to maintain surveillance on the car to ascertain its regular user. Through continuous monitoring of the vehicle, law enforcement identified an elderly man as its frequent driver, revealed to be John Collins. With this breakthrough, the police strategized to leverage Collins' involvement to extract vital information about the remaining members of the gang. After days of observation, authorities observed Collins meeting another individual in a nearby cafe. Initially, there were no suspicions raised, but upon investigating Collins' phone records, they uncovered the identity of the man, Brian Reeder. Recognizing the time-consuming nature of surveillance and its potential to allow the gang to dispose of the stolen goods, the police initiated a £20,000 reward for any leads on the gang's whereabouts. Surprisingly, public sentiment towards the heist differed from expectations. Instead of condemnation, the elderly gang garnered sympathy, perceived as daring individuals attempting such a feat in their advanced years, especially since no harm befell anyone during the operation. This unexpected public support complicated the police's efforts to gather intelligence on the gang. Moreover, media coverage depicted the gang in a somewhat heroic light, praising their audacity in breaching an allegedly impenetrable vault despite their age. With no alternative, the police relied on continuous surveillance to prevent the disappearance of the loot. Collins' movements were closely monitored, leading to encounters with Terry Perkins and Daniel Jones at a pub in North London. With the identification of Collins, Reeder, Perkins, and Jones, the police intensified surveillance on all four members, determined to gather substantial evidence for a successful arrest. Their activities and communications were closely monitored, with detectives also examining their phone records. Through such investigations, a significant discovery was made. A phone call made from Collins' phone to a tools superstore inquiring about a hydraulic pump on the afternoon of the second break-in. Surveillance footage further corroborated Collins' involvement, depicting him driving with Jones on a Saturday afternoon. In the lead-up to the second break-in, Daniel Jones visited the store to make a purchase, where he made a critical mistake by providing his real name and address, which was captured on the store's surveillance cameras. Despite this, the police still required further evidence to firmly link these individuals to the crime. Nearly a month later, on May 1, 2015, Collins and Perkins met with Reeder at a pub, where an undercover police officer covertly filmed them using a hidden camera. The close proximity of the officer ensured clear footage capturing their faces. It appeared they were meeting to debrief Reeder on the events of the second night, or possibly discuss the distribution of the loot, considering Reeder's pivotal role in planning the heist. A significant revelation occurred when Perkins demonstrated how they used the hydraulic pump to topple the safe box cabinet, a detail Reeder was unaware of due to his withdrawal on the first night. This information, obtained from a lip-reading expert's transcript of the recorded video, prompted the police to seek special authorization to bug Collins and Perkins' cars to monitor their conversations and calls, with the aim of identifying the remaining members. After several days of surveillance, the police intercepted conversations referencing a member named Carl, later identified as Carl Wood. It became apparent that Reeder and Wood had withdrawn after the initial night and did not return for the second attempt. With 5 members identified, the focus shifted to uncovering the identity of the 6th member, Basil, who played a crucial role in disabling the alarm system and facilitating access to the building. Despite 6 weeks of surveillance, Basil remained elusive, evading detection on bugs and surveillance cameras. The lack of a clear image hindered efforts to identify him. Consequently, attention turned to the known members, with the police intercepting conversations indicating the distribution of the loot among them. Collins entrusted his portion to his brother-in-law, Bill Lincoln, while Jones buried his share in a cemetery. Despite the dispersal of the loot, the police opted to delay apprehension, prioritizing the recovery of a significant portion of the stolen items before making arrests. After more than 6 weeks following the heist, the gang organized a meeting to consolidate all the portions of the loot for distribution elsewhere. They agreed to rendezvous behind a pub, where the loot would be transported via taxi and transferred to Colin's car. Following this, they planned to proceed to Perkins' daughter's house, which he had arranged to use for the purpose. Throughout these movements, the detectives closely monitored the gang's activities using the city's surveillance cameras, poised to intervene if necessary. Eventually, all the gang members convened at Perkins' daughter's residence, where they began preparations for the distribution. However, their plans were abruptly interrupted when the police conducted a raid on the house and the properties of the gang's associates. Caught off guard by the sudden police intervention, chaos and panic ensued among the gang members, throwing their plans into disarray and casting uncertainty over their futures.